Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. I hope you're having a good one. It seems like every day there's more and more news that I need to cover, and I can't get it all out during the Crypto Minute. It's amazing. So yeah, I do hope that you guys see me on the Crypto Minute, but then come over and watch the whole, the longer video, because there's a lot to unpack, a heck of a lot to unpack. So today's news. And I bring this news for a specific reason. I'll tell you after the story. JPMorgan Chase admits to failing to monitor billions of orders and agrees to pay a $100 million fine. Now, and that's a fine from the CFTC. That's in addition to another 39 something million, billion dollars that they've been paying in fines and other violations since 2000. Come here, Stitchy. You want to say hello? Come here. Uppy. No, you're just going to sit like that? Okay, fine. El Salvador and, oh, wait a minute. So I'm telling you about, JP Morgan paying these fines because everybody's wagging their freaking finger at crypto. Meanwhile, you have these kinds of things going on with banks. $39 billion since the year of 2000. Now, think about that. That is far over $1 billion a year on average, paying fines of one or another. And I'm sitting back and I'm just saying, it doesn't seem like the crypto industry has that level of problem. Just saying. I mean, I believe there should be, guardrails and parameters and rules, regulations, compliance issues, all that stuff. I think that, we should build that up. That said, the amount of violation that happens in the crypto space seems to only be a fraction when compared to traditional financial markets. So we should probably pay attention to that. Maybe get on that, take a more pragmatic approach to regulatory enforcement. Just saying, just a thought from the peanut gallery over here. Now you have ARK Invest in El Salvador saying, hey, we're going to partner up and we're going to use Bitcoin to increase capital markets and spur economic growth within El Salvador. That's actually a very big step. And this is after Cathie Wood's ARK Invest invests in Elon Musk's, XAI. So I'm finding this to all be very, very interesting as ARK Invest has been getting out there. ARK Invest is usually ahead of the curve when it comes to taking major chances. Doesn't mean that they're always right, because they're not. But they're always out there taking major chances and making major bets. So I listen to that only because it's very interesting to me to see how, these funds are thinking, how these funds are moving, where they're putting their money to work, right? Because it's not just about crypto. It's about how do we grow our bag just in general. So that can be stocks, bonds, options, businesses, just, investments. It can be any number of things that are just simply going to help us grow our bags. And that's why we need to pay attention to things, because something outside the crypto space can easily affect something on the inside of the crypto space. For instance, Riot is trying to take over another company, another Bitcoin miner, and that Bitcoin miner said no. Now Riot is going to war and saying, too bad, we really want you. So it's gonna be a hostile takeover, or at least right now it's a hostile takeover, event. So we'll see what happens. We'll see how that plays out. Then you have the CoinShares Digital Asset Fund Flows Weekly Report. Oh my God, that's so much to say. That weekly report came out and ETPs have grown. They surged $1 billion. $1 billion. Of course, led by the United States, but that's a number that's taken in around the world. So remember where that is now, the prominent places where it is: Hong Kong, London, and the United States. And I'm pretty sure that number is going to grow. So pay attention. I think Singapore too. Something else that happened this week, that happened yesterday, as a matter of fact, or actually technically early this morning. BlackRock is now the largest Bitcoin spot ETF in the world. They overtook Grayscale just this morning. And I had said earlier this month that it was projected to happen by the end of this month. And here we are on the 29th, 2 days before the end. And they've taken over that spot. And I assume that they're not going to give it up. They're going to keep growing and keep growing and keep growing. So much so that BlackRock even invests in its own Bitcoin spot ETFs, working it into a couple of their other funds. That is interesting. The reason why it's interesting is because they're eating what they're selling. They're saying, yep, we're behind it. Let's rock and roll. Something else that it says is that there is a tremendous demand. Did you know that the ETFs and ETPs around the world own about 5% of the Bitcoin right now? Bitcoin that's been mined? 5%. That's a big number. That's a very big number. So I want you to think about that. They own 5% of the market and growing. And growing. Remember, that's a finite resource. It's a very finite resource. And Stitches is goofing around. Okay. He's probably going to want to play in a couple of seconds. So I'm looking at that and I'm just saying those are big moves by a really big company, a multi-trillion-dollar company. They're making big, big, big moves. Very big moves. And I am tracking all that. A federal judge, this is one of my favorite things today. A federal judge is ordering the SEC to pay $1.75 million in fines for a case that it says should never have been brought against DebtBox. Why? Egregious. They didn't use the word egregious, but it was just if you look at how they're calling it failed fraud claims. So the SEC has to pay $1.75 million in legal fees. And it's not, for me, it's not just the legal fees, it's the time wasted. That's what it really comes down to for me. I think that they should have to pay for the time wasted. Like how much did each one of those employees, each one of the attorneys, everybody that had to do everything, how much was that? Pay the legal fees and pay for their time. That's what they should have to do. Because like I said, the SEC operates in such a way that they go to companies and they flex their muscles because we're the SEC, we're big and we're bad, and you're teeny weeny. And they thought they could get away with it. And it's not cool. It's absolutely not cool. You set your hand. You set your hand. You want to come up here? No, you just want to get pet? All right. Everybody wants to see you on camera, though. He's like, nah, just give me my pets. So that's a big win for DebtBox. And then on top of that, Ripple invested donated another $25 million to a super PAC named Fair Shake. And that's a crypto super PAC. Another 25 mil. The industry is coming together, like glue and saying, hey, time to stand up. So all these people out there need to, I know I didn't give you your 4 pats. I'm sorry. All these people that are out there, all these politicians that are out there that are, against Bitcoin, against crypto in general, they're going to have to start coming up with valid reasons. They're going to have to start coming up with valid reasons. Not like, Coup Bank out in London who said, we're going to stop doing crypto because of, the potential scams. Wow, that's old. Or maybe you just didn't have the right people in place to actually manage it the way it's supposed to be managed. I think that's really what it came down to. They tried to use the word crypto and all that good stuff and get involved, didn't know how, and messed up. That's what I'm thinking. What else is going on? The Bank of International Settlements outlined its 24-25 program, and they're going to be focused on tokenization and CBDCs. I find it interesting that they're leading with tokenization. I think CBDCs have a problem. People don't want them. People are not interested in CBDCs, and that's going to be a problem for countries around the world. Because privacy is a very big deal. Privacy and control are a very big deal. So I think that's going to be something that we absolutely, as a community, need to pay attention to. But you know what we should do? That's right. We should get into the numbers. And I did it again. I should just remember that when I turn this stuff on, I should absolutely turn on my watermark. So let's get into this. Let me refresh this because I haven't refreshed it in like 10 minutes. Let's see if anything's changed. Yep, there has been some change. Now, somebody asked me to look into Turbo. Last night I was doing my live and somebody said I should look into Turbo. Turbo is a meme coin built by AI. Interesting. It's down 22% right now. It's still an interesting thing. As far as a meme goes, if you're only buying memes because of name, Turbo, I guess. I'm really more interested in other things that are actually, doing something. But if I had to look at it from that kind of perspective, I'm kind of like, okay, fine. Not coin is growing, or it took a loss rather, but it's still growing. It took a 10% hit, but it's still a growing project, and we should be paying attention to that. What else is going on? Venom is down. Pepe is down 9%. Pendle is down 8%. That's the one that Mr. Shook told me about. Let's see. Ethereum name service down 121. Should be paying attention to that. They have more news coming. So Ethereum name service is something I'm going to be paying attention to for a bit. Floki's down 5%, a little bit of a correction, maybe some profit taking, but I think Floki's on a tear going up. That's really what I think. BitTensor in the news a lot, down 4%. You know what I have to say about anything that's moving less than 5%. If you're moving 5% or less, I'm not really paying attention to you. I'm really paying attention to things that are going above 5%, because that's a little bit more substantial, as well as if it's moving 5% or less, I'm looking for those numbers across 2 days to 3 days, right, to see what that sway really is, right? Because it's going to start to tell you, well, was that profit taking? Was it a little bit of a correction? Was it just a pop on news? Things like that are what I'm kind of paying attention to. On the plus side, what do we have? Celestia is up 15%. I've heard of Axelar, haven't touched it yet, up 11%. Jitto is up 11%. Shiba Inu up 10%. I keep telling you guys, Shiba Inu is not to be slept on. People still call it a meme, and it's not. You cannot call a coin a meme when it's got a whole ecosystem around it. A whole ecosystem around it. Shiba Inu is turning into something that you should not be, just shaking a stick at. And there's more news about Shiba Inu that I'll have in a few minutes. What else is there? Let's see. Flare is up 6%. Come all the way down to here. That's probably where we are. And there's nothing else, that I'm paying attention to. One thing that I will say, I don't like Pepe Coin. I absolutely don't like Pepe Coin, because they came out with Pepe, right? And I'm just saying, they came out with Pepe, and then here you are with a copycat coin. I don't like that. That's horrendous. Become original, please. Let's just think about that. Let's go back. We'll start over here. So that Friday is the big day with the PCE numbers, basically how much money people are spending or saving. We'll be paying attention to those numbers come Friday. We have a whole bunch of Fed speakers, for the rest of the week. I don't know that I don't know that I put a lot of weight into it, other than it tells me kind of where their head is at. That's where their head is at now. But when it comes to getting together as a group, that's when I don't know where your head is at. When I think about, could we be looking at could we be looking at a rate decrease this year? At best, we'll get one. At best, we'll get one. I think we'll get none until first quarter next year. That's really the way I think it's going to be, just because the market's all that hot. Fear and Greed Index is at 72. That's actually pretty good. I was expecting it to go up a little bit. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. DeFi Llama, we stayed the same. It's $132 billion in total value locked. For Bitcoin, you see it trading a little bit below our 69,355 green line right here. But still, if you look across right here, you can see that it's all consolidated within that space. Ready for another shot up, but it's all consolidated. And you can, again, to me, you can blame Mt. Gox, because it was on an upward trend. Then the news hit about Mt. Gox moving $5 billion in Bitcoin, and that put downward pressure back onto it and dropped us down. I think we would have easily seen, sustained 70, 71, maybe even 72, $1,000. And then, of course, I think after that, you're going to wind up trying to see people try to push it higher. Then with the big picture, you can see, like I said, Shiba Inu is up big. And you have a few other coins that are down a little bit, and you can see who's healthy and who's not. Solana's been strong, hovering around $170 for a while now. I think they're ready for a move up. Let's see. Toncoin is at 653. Not bad, considering it's been all the way down, even down to the 620s or so. So that's good stuff for me. HBAR is strong. So you have a few coins that I'm looking at, and I'm kind of like, yeah, you should probably pay attention. Again, if you're not near all-time highs for a particular project, then you should probably be paying attention to its upward potential as we start to go up over the rest of the year and into 2025. Again, just make sure that you're doing your own research and you're connecting the dots as you move forward with everything. Looking at it from a numbers perspective, you can see that Bitcoin is at about 60% year to date. Not too bad, nothing shabby. But Ethereum's at 67%. BNB chain is at 91, almost 92%, basically 92%. Solana's at 67%, right? Right on the heels in terms of year to date, potential. That's what we're looking at. That's a big deal. Don't sleep on some of these projects because they're really big. Scroll down and you can see that I told you before, Avalanche and Shiba Inu have been battling back and forth as to taking over that number 11 spot. But I really want you to dig in on, remember when I told you that Avalanche and Shiba Inu could take over Cardano? Shiba Inu right now is a hair away from bunny hopping Cardano. Look at this market cap right now. The separation is less than $120 million. Less than $125 million. That is huge. That is huge. Shiba Inu, beginning as a meme coin, turning into an ecosystem, and now is in position to become one of the top 10 coins in the world. Again, I keep telling people, do not sleep on Shiba Inu. It's a very big deal. It's a very big deal. So they've bunny hopped Avalanche and looking to take over a spot from Cardano. That would be mind blowing to me. That would absolutely be mind blowing to me. All right. Now the next one in the list that I'm a big lover of Chainlink. They got a long distance to go between 10 billion or 10, 11 billion up to 14 billion, right? So it'll be a long time before Chainlink makes that jump. But I have to tell you, the way that Chainlink is working, the partnerships that Chainlink has, it is going to be easier than you think for Chainlink to bump up. Do I think Chainlink could actually wind up also within the top 10? We'll see over time, but I think it's definitely possible. It's absolutely possible. They're going to be fighting for it. That's why I keep telling you guys, if you remove the stable coins and you just look at the top 25 coins, each one of those projects is a no-joke project. You've got to give a hat tip to it. That's a lot of work to actually get there. I mean, you're talking about numbers that most coins will never see. Never see. But they're there. That also says that these coins are in use. So when you're looking at Avalanche, Shiba Inu, Cardano, Toncoin, Dogecoin, XRP, all of them, you're looking at coins that are being used and not just traded. Anyway, this is Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. I hope you like what I'm doing. And if you do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll speak with you guys later. Have a good one. Bye-bye.